Welcome back to the Bimmer Barn, everyone. Today we're going to try to diagnose the final couple of issues that I have with my E9335i before we begin the swap into my E91 wagon. I'm super excited to start that build, but before we get into that, we want to make sure that this motor and the entire suspension, drivetrain, everything is 100% before we get it into that car. So we're going to start by fixing the boost leak that I have. I got a clip for the intercooler that we're going to install and see if this car will go into boost for the first time, and we're going to try to diagnose what that noise is that we feel from the front suspension. Hopefully it's something simple, that way we don't have any problems when this drivetrain gets swapped into the wagon body. So let's go ahead and get right to work. Here it is, the elusive N54 Intercooler Clip. I was missing one of these on the intercooler, and that's why it was blowing off the charge pipe and we weren't getting any boost out of it. So let's go ahead and install this now. You can see here on the charge pipe how it's literally coming out of the intercooler there. So we need to grab that and shove it back into the intercooler, try to make a good seal, and then put a clip on. So I think that's a good seal. Now we just need to figure out what that suspension noise is from under the car. So when I'm diagnosing suspension noises from a car, generally you want to start from the outside and work your way in. So what I would usually do is grab the entire wheel by two hands and try to shake it first up to down, then side to side, and just see if you get any play, because that would definitely tell you that there's a bushing bad or like a wheel bearing bad, and kind of just be a really easy telltale from the beginning. Now on this wheel we don't have any shake, so let's go ahead and check the other one. Over here on this side, whoa, do you guys hear that? That is really loose. Let me put some light on this and see what's shaking. You can see what's going on. You know what it is? It's just the wheel being loose on the hub itself. Like we've got some loose bolts here. So let's try to tighten those up. And then we'll look underneath the car just for good measure. All right, so fix the intercooler. Suspension is probably not bad. It was, you know, some of it does look new, like the tie rod and stuff like that. We do need to grab a boot for the steering rack right here, though. I need to remember to order that. We've still got this oil right here. It's coming from one of the hoses up there, though. You can see right there the oil leak, and it's dripping down the frame and onto the bushing here. So I think when we get the engine out, we'll have a better idea of what hose or what gasket that is, and we can just go ahead and order that and fix it later. But something that does concern me is the rear main seal here. So we're missing that dust cover that would go on the oil pan right here, and you can see that inside of the bell housing, the part of the oil pan right there, it does have oil on it, and that's right below the rear main seal. So should be interesting to change that since the transmission has to come off, and I'm not sure if that'll be easier to do when the engine is out of the car, or if we should just wait until it's swapped into the wagon and then service it separately, because you know, it might take the same amount of time and effort either way. Then one other thing, we have some oil there, might have been from the valve cover leaking, but one thing that is bothering me, and I spotted this just recently, if you look at the turbo right there, it's got some fresh oil on it, and that's like right on the cartridge itself. It could be a number of things. It could be, you know, the seals, the turbos failing externally and allowing oil to leak. It could be a leak from something above, totally not related, or it could be like a gasket from one of the oil pressure lines that goes to the turbo, and that might be causing, you know, some oil to leak out of the motor, because yeah, it's kind of landing down here and coming from the turbo. That's just a weird spot. So we're gonna go ahead and you know, keep these things in mind when we pull the motor out of the car and try to figure out exactly what they are. Maybe service them when the motor's out, or maybe service it once it's in the car. You guys tell me, what do you think these oil leaks are? Comment down below. So now we're finally going to put this thing down and get into some boost for the first time. Still no more smoke, so that's a good thing, right? No smoke coming from the tailpipes. All right, let's put this baby in drive and see what she can do. Soon. You know what? The alignment is definitely still a little bit weird. Ooh, that was a little boosty. All right, let's see what she got. Yeah, she definitely goes into boost. It's hard to tell exactly how fast or how smooth it is. It feels like it's wanting to misfire a little bit still, but we haven't gotten a drivetrain malfunction yet, so that's good. No check engine light either. But let's try to get it somewhere where we can get a little more speed and see how the car reacts. Now, I put the windows up just to see if we could hear that weird noise anymore. It's all gone, so that was definitely just the loose wheel. I also turned on the air conditioning, and I don't think that works.
Moments later.
Oh, never mind. Good news. The AC does work, actually. It's getting a little bit cold. I didn't even realize it at first. It just took a second. It probably hasn't run in a while, so that's why it took a while. But look at these vents. There's nothing to aim them. That's kind of funny. I'm here at the light. We're about to do our first pull and find out if this car is gonna misfire as soon as it gets into any boost, which, you know what, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, because it could have more bad injectors that need to be replaced. So we're gonna find out in exactly 1 second. Yep, engine malfunction, definite misfire. We're gonna go ahead and head back to the house now and see what cylinder that's on. Now I'm sitting here at the light, so I just turned the engine on and off again, and the misfire went away. So now we can give it a little more gas and see. It goes in a boost. Oh, another engine malfunction. Ooh, and when we hit the brakes, it does not like that either. It kind of pulsates a little bit. Not sure if that's alignment. Well, it could be alignment related. Another drivetrain malfunction right there, engine malfunction technically. But yeah, this is what I wanted to find out, was if we have any bad cylinders, like something that, you know, is gonna misfire when we get into boost, like a cracked piston or something crazy. I want to find this out now. So let's go back to the shop and figure out if this is just a bad injector. So just finishing up with our scan here, and we should be able to see all the fault codes on all the modules using ISTA. Now looking at the faults, it looks like a cylinder misfire on number 3, and then turbocharger boost pressure too low. So maybe we still have a boost leak and possibly a misfire as well on cylinder 3. The only thing that I could think is the injector, because we did just replace them with some used ones. But why don't we try to move around some injectors, take a look at the charge pressure system, and figure out what the issue is.
Eventually.
All right, we just coated those injectors and swapped them from 3 to 4. So now we're gonna drive the car again and see if the misfire follows the injector. Now, as far as the boost leak goes, I'm not sure what that could be. Primary guesses would be like maybe some of these hoses over here on the charge pipe. The intercooler connections look good, although it could be the actual intercooler itself. I can't find a spot where it's cracked, but there might be a crack in the intercooler. And then this hose right here, the aftermarket pipe, outlet pipe for the turbos, maybe those clamps on the silicone are worth checking the tightness of, because those could be leaking boost as well. Although it seems like a pretty big boost leak, considering we don't really get into any boost at all. So let's go ahead and drive the car again and see what we get. It still isn't running perfectly smooth, so I'm wondering if we had maybe another bad injector. It's even misfiring right there, and the check engine light came back on. Looks like a cylinder 3 misfire again. Let's go ahead and clear that out. No air memory. Feels like it's misfiring still. And there you go, it came back on. We just cleared it, ran it, and it came back. Cylinder 3 misfire still. Now we just swapped the injectors 3 and 4 around and it stayed on cylinder 3. So now I want to try swapping around coils. So let's take number 1 and number 3 and we're going to swap these around and see if it makes a difference. All right, that's all done. Let's start her up. And we got to remember to clear the memory here. Definitely still misfiring. Cylinder 3 misfire still. Look at this. This just keeps getting interesting. So we swapped the injectors, we swapped the coils around. So I guess the only other thing would be to swap the spark plugs. This is frustrating. Cylinder 3 misfire still. And no other codes. What a mystery. I wonder if I should try moving the injectors again, because I did move 3 and 4 around, but sometimes since they're so close together, they can start to interfere with each other and you get just misfires that don't move. So let's try moving cylinder 3 and cylinder 1 and see what happens.
1 hour later.
All right, we just swapped the injectors and now we coded them as well. We'll go back, and go to the air memory. And let's go ahead and clear it. Now we'll start the car up. There you go. Sounds like it's still misfiring. Well, it's running smoother now. No misfires. So I guess we'll take it for another drive and see what it does. And maybe this time while we're taking it out, we might go get some gas since it's got half a tank, but that might be old fuel, so. And we got our first and second code. Engine malfunction. Seems like a boost leak code. I would read it, but I need to brush up on my German a little bit. Actually, you know what? I take back what I said about putting fuel in the car because I just remembered that we're gonna be taking out this engine really soon anyways, so there's no point in adding more gas to a car that we're not gonna be driving. So I'm not gonna put any gas in it, but for now we're gonna try to get into boost a couple more times, let it idle, run it, and just see if we can get it to misfire again. And if it's going to misfire at cylinder 3 or if it's going to move to cylinder 1 or, you know, what the deal is. So let's see if we can find that out. So we have yet another drivetrain malfunction and it looks like it's continued to be a boost leak. So I think that's the only problem we might have to figure out. Probably the injectors are old, need to be replaced. But for now, I'm more worried about just getting the basics figured out. Well, it's getting towards the end of the day here, and while I feel like we've made some serious progress on the 335 drivetrain for now, we definitely have some more obstacles in front of us, namely the boost pressure leak, which I'm thinking could either be just a loose hose clamp somewhere or the intercooler itself being damaged and causing maybe a boost leak somewhere internally, like a crack. But we definitely want to replace that, make sure that the boost system is 100% good before we get the engine into the car. For now though, the car is super hot, so I'm not going to be able to get my hands into the engine bay and start working on things. So we're going to cut it off here, and in the next episode, while the engine's cooled down, we're going to check out the entire charge pressure system and try to figure out where this boost leak is coming from, and then from there, hopefully we'll be transferring this thing into the wagon. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and leave a like or a comment down below. As always, I hope everyone has an awesome day, and we'll see you in the next video.